Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today is my 1-year Booktube anniversary. It is crazy to think that 1 year ago, March 1st of 2023, I did my first Booktube video. I was so nervous, and I still honestly do get nervous making these videos, even though I have been doing it for a year now. March 1st of 2023, I did the Booktube newbie tag. I have been part of the Booktube community as a watcher for a really long time, and for whatever reason, I finally decided it was time to give my own opinion on books and, jump into the mix myself. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches and comments and has subscribed. It has been just a crazy journey over the past year, and I have really enjoyed my time doing it, getting to talk to people, getting to talk about books, meeting people, just everything has been kind of a whirlwind and has been a lot more than I would have expected at the time when I started, and it really just has been an interesting journey. One thing I have thought about doing, just kind of a celebration for 1 year, is doing an Ask Me Anything. So if you have any questions you want to know, leave them down in the comments. It can be book related, it can be not book related, and I might go ahead and make a video if there are enough questions down there, or I'll just answer them in the comment, one or the other. So I've been thinking about this. Obviously, I have known the anniversary was coming up for a little while, and I thought of some questions that I thought people might want to get my perspective on now that I have been doing this for a year. And the first one is, am I glad that I did it? And I think I kind of already answered that, but yes, I am very glad I did it. This community is awesome. There are so many people who just want to sit around and talk about books that they like and sometimes not like. That's been an interesting aspect. I wasn't sure how negative book reviews would go. And for the most part, while yes, some people take offense to your opinion, especially if it's a book that somebody really cares about, for the most part, most of the disagreements have been very civil and have been great, just as great as people just agreeing with me. I honestly really like the back and forth debate, because there are so many books where they're not going to work for me, but they're going to work for you. And getting to see the perspective of other people who do enjoy books, I mean, that's just as great as getting to talk to people about books that you love. I also thought about, has joining Booktube changed my reading habits? And I will say, for the most part, no. If anything, it has probably encouraged me to read just a little bit more, because I know I want to make a video on what I'm reading. In general, it hasn't changed like the types of books I'm reading, because I was already a pretty heavy sci-fi fantasy person anyways. I will say that with all the recommendations I get, I do definitely spend a lot more time looking up books than I did in the past. Before Booktube, I would hear about things because I did watch a lot of Booktube, but I wouldn't really put too much thought or effort into a lot of ones that people mention. But now, if somebody spends their time to say in the comments that they think I'll like something, I almost always go and look it up and at least see if I want to add it to my TBR. So my TBR has absolutely exploded in the past year, which it was already crazy long, but getting those recommendations has been great. And that's probably the biggest thing that has changed. I will say I probably read a little bit more physically now. I was always a really big audiobook person, but because of things like self-published books, a lot of them don't have audiobooks. So it has really kind of opened me up to reading, especially on the Kindle, a little bit more than I was before. That's probably the biggest change, actually. But overall, yeah, other than just making me push a little bit more to read, I have pretty much kept my same reading habit. And the next question I wrote down for myself, it's just my mad ramblings from my brain, is, has this been a success? What changes would I make, and what things that I maybe want to do moving on into the future? And the first part of that, has this been a success? I think absolutely. For what I originally started this channel for was, one, to kind of have a diary of books that I have read a little bit more in depth. I'm not a big fan of writing Goodreads reviews, but I think having videos to go back and listen to some of my thoughts about books has been really helpful. I will also say that there are definitely some things that I would like to do moving forward outside of like some of the basic stuff. Like, I definitely want to have some different lighting and a different camera and all those kinds of things, just because I think it could look nicer for people who are watching. But some of the bigger things that I want to do is, when I first joined Booktube, I had heard so many people talk about they get wrapped into so many buddy reads that it is something that I stayed away from a lot more. And looking back over the past year, I think it's something that maybe I would like to do a little bit more of. Part of another reason I haven't done it is I really do like to read what I want to read, and sometimes that's hard to find. But I think just in general, being more active in some of the communities that are around. I'm not a huge Discord person, and a lot of Booktube stuff happens on Discord, so maybe I need to just invest a little bit more time there. I'm really kind of the person who like pops in, looks at some stuff, and I'll see what's going on, but I don't know. Have never been a Discord person. Even in my personal life, my friends, we use it all the time, and I use it more with them, but just in general, I've never really been a big fan of Discord. But yeah, I think I would like to really collaborate with more people. You know, if you have one of the many live shows that are out there, or you want to collab with me, it's something I would totally be open to. I know it's not something that I haven't done a lot of. I've only done one live stream with Fantasy Awash, and that was a great time. So I would definitely be open to doing that. If you have something you want to do, definitely feel free to reach out to me. My email, Instagram, and you can probably find me on Discord if you try. It's just my name in the description. And if you want to reach out to me, and maybe we can, you know, collab together on something, I think it would be a lot of fun. And I would like to get to know people a little bit more. I definitely have commenters and other booktubers that I talk to in the comments and everything, and it's a great time, and it's super nice to like be friendly with these people and everything, and I would love to kind of even deepen that connection a little bit more. That is maybe one thing in the next year that I'd like to do, because I think that is a huge aspect of this, because you know, this is just a hobby. I'm just doing this for fun. I have no desire to like get any monetary gain out of this or anything like that. I just like talking about books and talking with them to other people. And so I think that's maybe something I need to put a little bit more effort into myself. One other thing I have jotted down is, am I good at this? Slash, there are some videos that I would like to highlight that I do think show my better part of being a booktuber. And I will say, I don't think I'm that good at this. I still think a lot of my reviews I struggle with because I don't want to spoil anything. And I think that's the biggest thing for me. I try to be so vague sometimes to not spoil anything that I can't always get my points across with good examples. I think that's something I need to work on a little bit more. And I do feel like sometimes I'm just so rigid in a review because I want to make sure I hit certain points where it might work better if I was just a little bit more free flowing. But I don't know, it's hard. When I do like a presentation for work, I'm very much a follow point A, B, C, and I don't mean like reading off a PowerPoint, but you know, I have like internal notes that I make in my head of things that I want to hit. And it's hard for me to deviate sometimes. So that is definitely something. But in general, no, I don't think I make anything that is like super exceptional, but I have a lot of fun doing it. And I think that's what matters the most. Like I said, there are some videos that I'm very proud of, and I do want to mention them. This is a super early review I did. It is my Tiamat's Wrath review. That is book 8 of The Expanse. I think it is the only spoiler video I have on my channel. I spoil everything about that book. So if you have not read The Expanse or you don't want it to be spoiled, don't watch it. But man, I read that. That is my second favorite book of all time. And when I finished it, I just could not contain myself. I just needed to get it all out, and I definitely did in that review. I don't know, it was almost like a 30-minute long video of me just going, gushing over this book that I absolutely love. It is still a book I think about all the time. And so I think that is a pretty fun review if you have read The Expanse to go back and to see. Another one is my reading and life goals for 2024. I don't know why. I just like that video because if I go back and look at it or my notes for it, it's kind of like that nice reminder of like where I need to be for some of my goals throughout the year, reading wise, and there are some life ones. Like for example, I mentioned in that video that there are some competitions that I want to do, and I am doing one very soon. So it'll be nice to be able to check that off. Another video that I really liked is, I think it is titled, Help Me Pick My Next Long Series or something like that. And I go through a bunch of really long series that I was thinking about reading. I ended up picking Malazan from that list, spoiler, but I got so many comments of people recommending me different series or of the ones that I had kind of picked, of why I should pick some versus others. And I don't know, I just had so many comments and conversations with people. That is definitely one that sticks in my mind. Another video that is definitely, I had so much fun doing, is the Valentine's Day video I did with my girlfriend. We had a lot of fun doing that. She told me I should have had bloopers in that video. Bloopers aren't normally something I do, but when we were trying to film that, we sat there and like giggled and laughed for like 10 or 15 minutes before we could even start the video, and it was just a lot of fun. Getting to do that with her was a really good time. I know she'll come back on the channel for videos in the future, and so that's exciting, but that one in particular is just a lot of fun, and I probably should have left in some of those bloopers. She has some clips of it, so maybe one day those will see the light of day. And then the last video I will mention is my very first video. It's not a good video. It's awkward. There's some really weird cuts in it. This isn't the background. The background is completely different. It's looking at this wall over here before I got this bookshelf. But I don't know, it's the video that got me to do it. It's the first video I did, and there is something entertaining about going back and seeing how far you've come. Like I said, it's not a good video. I don't know why so many people watched it and commented and everything on it, but it's one that I will always have fond memories of, because it was the first one. And you know, who knows how long I'll do this for, who knows how many videos will come in the next year. I don't know if like I'm gonna really change my schedule or anything like that. So, but it's just the video that I think about a lot, because man, I have thought about like hiding it because it's bad. But at the same time, it's like, I like to see the growth. I do a lot of like working out stuff, and I have notebooks that go back probably to 2016, 2017 of like my workout. So sometimes I'll open up one of those notebooks and see like, wow, you were only benching this, and now that's not even a warm-up for you. You skip right over it. And so to see that progression in life is something that I really enjoy. So that is why that video will probably always be there, even though it is kind of embarrassing to go back and watch now. So one last thing I do want to say, if you're on the fence of starting a booktube channel, or if this is a space you have thought about getting into, whether it be joining a bunch of discords, just commenting on videos, I implore you to do it. If your goal is to just have a good time, talk about books, meet new people, I think it's a great idea. If you want to become like a YouTuber, influencer who turns this into like a monetary thing, I don't know if I can help you much there. This doesn't seem like the best niche to do that, but you know, I'm not going to tell you not to. But I think if you come in and you're just somebody who really wants to talk about books, there's absolutely an avenue for you to be a part of the discussion, even though there are so many channels. There are so many booktube channels. Every day when I'm on YouTube watching videos, I see somebody's channel who I've never seen before. I wish I could watch all of them, because I'm sure there are so many great people out there that I'm missing and haven't even got to see yet. But if you're on the fence, I do think you should. It's fun. If you're willing to just put in a little bit of effort, read, and just plop your phone down and record yourself talking about books, you know, you're a booktuber. So I definitely encourage anybody who is on the fence to do it. And once again, I just wanted to say thank you for watching, commenting, subscribing, all of that stuff. It's been a wonderful year, and I'm looking forward to the next year. Like I said, I don't think there's going to be any really big changes. Like I would just like to be maybe a little bit more available and present with the community itself, because there are just so many awesome people out there. But that's all for me, and as always, have a good one.